Check one. Okay, mic check one, two, mic check. Okay, mic check one, two, mic check. Okay, welcome everyone to the Pro Trade Room Plus and new home sales, oil inventories. My name is Lee Goldstein, Trading Director for 10-Minute Trades. Please remember all the trades we discuss are for educational purposes. It is possible to lose money trading futures. I'm not a financial advisor, so trade carefully, please. All right, everyone. The markets have just opened. So hello to another day. We're going to be looking at new home sales. That's coming up in just a few minutes. That's a 10 o'clock event. And then we'll stay in the room for the oil inventory report. So just a heads up, I was watching the charts a little bit early. Very, very nice magnet open. And again, when are great times to use the magnet trade? Opens can be great times. So I was watching it from 8 o'clock, waiting very patiently. There was no test of the high. And then I had to get ready for the trade room. So I wasn't trading, but I was just watching, had a setup that would have been perfect. And, it's not, sometimes it's not a woulda, shoulda, coulda. Sometimes you're not trading because you're doing something else, but you watch the market and it reinforces your setups. And magnets on opens are very good times to use them. So just a heads up. Also, last night, did anyone trade Australia last night? We did not have a trade room. Um, it was a very weird little move, not a big move at all. And I wound up trading it and shrinking the bracket. The market looked dead to me before the event. I shrunk the bracket to 6 and made a couple of dollars on a very bizarre little news pop. But if you stayed in the trade, it did drop a bit, and there was a little bit of profit. It wasn't a gigantic move, but again, it was another interesting Australia trade. The Australia trades, they sometimes can be very whippy and sometimes no response. They can sometimes be a lot like the Canada trades. Anyway, let's talk quickly about new home sales. So I'm going to trade new home sales in my Buell Knox account. Normal breakout trade. It did not work in August. It was a stop out. I'll show you the video, but let me set up the trade first. So new homes, existing homes, pending homes, three reports that as of late, the market's been watching them a little bit more than it had been a year ago, definitely because of the Fed, interest rates, the constant chatter about interest rates. Obviously, it tremendously affects the home market. As interest rates drop, the home market, usually activity gets better. As interest rates rise, the home market struggles. But the home market is in a bubble, an insane bubble. I don't care what anybody says. It's incredibly difficult to buy an existing home. New homes, that's a different animal entirely. But existing homes, it's certainly in many regions in the country, prices are above listing, multiple orders on many houses. There's no inventory on the market. It's extremely difficult to get yourself into a house these days unless you have a lot of money. It's just not easy. And it does vary. Obviously, it varies by market. In the area where I am, in the city part of the area, you can still get some pretty decent deals. And yet, just a couple of blocks away from decent deals, you would not believe how expensive the housing prices are. It's a very bizarre, very strange housing markets these days. New home sales, I'm going to see if we can use an 8 bracket on gold. It's 8 to 10 targets of 8 and 15 ticks. If my first target gets filled, I'm going to move my stop to break even -3. And I do want to, before I forget, welcome everyone on YouTube. Thank you for joining us and for watching us. It's a YouTube stream this morning, new home sales. So thank you. Hit the like button. and we would greatly appreciate that. 12 stop that we've got going here. If my first target gets hit, target one stop move will be a BE -3, break even -3. Bracket of 8, if we can get away with it. Targets right now of 8 and 15. Let's see if we can get away with it. I'll do my testing on Sim, and then I'll put my charts on my account. Gold's getting ready to do a magnet. You could set up a magnet trade for new home sales. It may not have enough time. That magnet might get tested before new home sales. But I think not. I'll tell you why I think not. I've been watching gold all morning for a magnet, and it really hasn't happened yet. So I think it's definitely I think it's definitely gonna happen within the next 10, 15 minutes. Putting my time on
Order
zero.
submitted. Order canceled.
Need bigger brackets to manage the trade. Remember what I said yesterday? If you click the F button up here, the fixed scale, which is the default, then you never have to check your brackets. You'll always see the price on the chart. The reason that I don't do that is because look at the way the chart looks. I don't like to trade the chart when it looks all out of sorts. I like to trade it the way I like to trade it. So, I'm not
It is
trying to
less
be
than 10
funny
minutes
or
time now at
cute.
the top of the
I'm
hour.
just
Series
saying
of the US
that's
new
the
Order
home
way
sales
submitted.
units for the
I
month of
like to
August.
do it.
Forecast
So
0.7
right
million from the
now,
prior
I think
0.739 million, with a range
we
of
can get away
0.75
with
to
an eight
Order
bracket. Be
canceled.
0.645
very
million
aware
expected. The change
that
month
you
over
might
month.
have to hit that
Forecast minus
adjust button
5.3% on the
because the
prior
market is
10.6%.
active. The market is active. I'd rather not use a 10 bracket on new home sales. I'd rather not because it hasn't been traditionally a very big mover. I'm just watching the ES. I don't trade the ES on this report. Yeah, I would think, Roz, you could use MGC on this. The only thing that worries me, we talk about this, the MGC business. Sometimes we're seeing MGC moving very differently. That's the problem. We don't test MGC. We just don't have enough time to test micros and the major and the minis on every report. Um, I would definitely use a 10 bracket if I trade MGC. I would use a 20 stop. My other thought would be maybe just trade one contract and go for a 10 tick target. If the market moves 13 ticks in your favor, move your stop to break even plus 8. You could do something like that, Roz. I'm sure. I think you know what I mean. I'll show you anyway. So let
Order
me set up my
submitted.
trade. So we've
Order
got
canceled.
a two contract trade. Let's say you wanted to trade new homes, one contract with a full size instrument. So what I would consider doing, everything is the same. Activate at 9:59. The bracket. I want to do a bracket of 8. Just keep an eye on that adjust button. If you have to hit adjust, you can hit it. Testing 1, 2. Can you hear me? I just got a message. My mic wasn't working. Can you all hear me now? Testing 1, 2. Testing 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay. Yes. Okay. Um, Something happened on the mic. I don't think it was you, Roz. What I was saying, if you want to just trade one contract, one full size, um, just to backtrack in case you couldn't hear me, if you're trading MGC, use a bracket of 10, use a stop at least of 20. And I would use the same targets. I would use a couple of positions, maybe two or three. It's not that expensive to trade MGC. You could trade one full-size contract, use a bracket of 8, keeping an eye on the adjust button if the market is a little too volatile. I think we're okay with the 8 bracket. Position size, one would be 1. I'd go for a 10 target. Profit target would be 10. Then everything else would be 0. Position 2 would be a 0. You don't use the target one stop move. The stop would still be 12. If the market moved 13 ticks in our favor, then I would move my stop to break even plus 8. And that way, if it doesn't quite go to your 10 target, well, no, look, if it moves 13 ticks in our favor, that makes no sense to do it that way. So let me just think for 1 second. I would just go with the 10 tick target. That's how I would do it. I wouldn't fool around with the market moving. I would just try to control your stop and move it to safety if you have to, because it's just not a big enough move. So one contract, I would do a bracket of 8, target of 10, stop of 12. The way you use if the market moves, you would do if the market moved 8 ticks. In other words, it doesn't get to your target. Then you could move the stop to break even plus 5 or 6, for instance, and that would protect a little bit of profit as if you were trading two contracts with a
It's been 5 minutes
target of
time now. At the
5
top of the
and
hour,
10.
see the release of the
Okay,
US new
I
home
hope
sales
that makes
units.
sense.
Forecast
If the market
0.7
moved
million on the
8
prize,
ticks in your favor,
0.739
move the
million, with
stop
a
to
range of
break even plus
0.75 to
5.
0.645 million expected.
Target is
And the
10
change month
on a
over month,
one contract
forecast minus
trade.
5.3% on
For
the
me
prior
this morning, I'm going to
10.6%.
trade in Buell Knox with 2. Trigger time is 9:59:59. Bracket of 8. Targets of 8 and 15. I would not argue if you wanted to use 6 and 15. Stop is 12. Break even minus 3 on the target one stop move. Okay. And then don't forget, label your trade, gold breakout, choose the account you're trading in. Okay. I'm in Buell Knox this morning. And then choose the right account that you're trading in. Like I said, I was up like 20 bucks from Australia last night. Enable your trade. Make sure your time is not 0 when you enable your trade. Make sure your time is back to 9:59. I hope everybody checked their time sync by going to the website. Time is, right? We're going to watch the market. I said I was going to show you a quick failed new homes trade, not to scare anyone. Okay, welcome everyone. New homes in August just didn't work, and that's okay. These home sale reports, they've been hitting target one on a pretty regular basis for many months, and some of them have been hitting two targets. So I'm willing to trade them. The market is interested. Just because it didn't work in August, that actually gives me more motivation to trade it today. Because, like I said, I do think that these reports are having tradable moves. Now, it just so happened that August, it just did a Nick Fill. You know what I mean by a Nick Fill? Watch. And we got 3 minutes, 2 minutes here. So a Nick Fill, it went pretty far past the Nick Fill, but it did a whipsaw, basically. It was a whipsaw. So whipsaws are tough. But look what was going on there. That might have been a trade to trade long only, just looking at the analysis that particular day. Gold was very bullish. Gold's bullish today. Okay. Gold is bullish right now. I said I thought we're going to get our high test. High test. What does that make you think of? The ES already did its magnet. It definitely could do another magnet on new home sales. But a magnet trade is less powerful when it previously tested recently. Okay? That's a very important concept that's simple to understand. Magnets are less magnetic if there was a recent test of the level you're looking to test. They're more magnetic if the test hasn't been done recently. So, my favorite morning drink is Dunkin' Pumpkin mixed with a pumpkin spice latte from Starbucks. I drink it all fall. Love it. All right, we have a minute. Just watching the
1 minute remaining.
ES,
I'll be leading with the
and
US new home
after the
sales units.
trade, we're going to go to oil. It's just a short stream this morning for our friends on YouTube, just streaming new home sales. They're expecting 699,000. I think new home sales are good. I think people are trying to buy, though this could be an interesting month because most people do know that interest rates are coming down. So maybe we'll see less sales this month in anticipation of lower interest rates going forward.
10 seconds.
Watch the ES do that. I believe it'll do another magnet right here.
Order submitted. Order
0.716
submitted.
million, 0.716 million, higher
Order
than forecast,
filled.
0.7 million. The change at minus
Just a
4.7%,
total
minus
another whipsaw of
4.7%,
new
which is lower
homes.
than forecast,
There's
minus
nothing you can
5.3%.
do when you get behavior like that. And absolutely, so why did it do that? If you look at what happened here, you've got the potential for mixed news. Very negative month over month, but August was much higher. So you get a whipsaw.
The US August
And
median sale price
probably there was an opportunity
420,600,
there
which is down 4.6% from August of
for
last
if
year.
you were fast for a quick reversal. Certainly there was an opportunity there. The ES, I think, because of mixed bad news, is not going to immediately go back and test that area. So unfortunately, that's two whipsaws in a row on new home sales. So you got to, next month, I'll still trade it, but I'll trade it now much more carefully because that's two in a row makes your guard go up automatically. If you don't get, normally, like I said, it has not been trading that way at all, except in August. But we'll definitely be on our guard now on new home sales. I think part of the issue was the news result, which can create that kind of move. I want to thank everybody for watching on YouTube. Just a quick stream this morning. We're going to stay in the room. Our members are going to stay in the room for um, oil inventories. So thanks everyone on YouTube. If you hit that like button, we show the truth as it is, trading the news. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.